Now, the talk of a possible merger or emergence of a worthy opposition coalition that can challenge the All Progressives Congress seems to be the major focus for politicians as they seek a way to defeat the ruling APC. However, the ruling party members are confident that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will emerge victorious in 2027. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo San, dismissed suggestions of a political coalition succeeding in unseating President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general elections, describing such an effort as impossible. Also, APC National Chairman Alhaji Umar Ganduje has boasted that the 2027 election is a done deal for the APC. Well, the question is, does the declaration by the APC on the 2027 elections being a done deal have any merit? And if a coalition is the only way to defeat the APC, with the recent statement by the PDP governors rejecting any alliance or merger talks, will the PDP be sidelined? Well, joining us now to discuss this is Alhaji Abubakar Baraje. He'll also be discussing the implosion of the Delta State chapter of the PDP and the penetration of Fulani herdsmen in Nigeria. Good morning, Alhaji, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
All right, sir, we'll get straight into it. Of course, the biggest question here is the statement, the body language, that 2027 is a done deal for the APC. What is your take on this, especially with the wave of defections, what is being called Hurricane Tinubu, hitting the opposition? Is there any hope?
Well, the statement, first of all, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as a bona fide member of the PDP, which is one of the strongest opposition party in the country, anybody can say anything he likes or he wishes. Politics is about dreams. It's about aspirations. Politics is about wish. And so the wish of anybody is his own personal, consumption. And if the APC is saying what they are saying, according to what you said, I think that's their wish. Then the opposition, to remember, are there. They are not just sleeping. In spite of what you call the gale of defection, as far as I'm concerned, defection or no defection, the PDP is still a party that is very strong on ground as an opposition party. And as far as the defection of the Delta, state governor and the team and the concern, we have put that one behind us in PDP, and we are looking forward. So it depends on the wish and aspiration of everybody in whatever party. And the ruling party has a right to say whatever they want to say. But the oppositions are not sleeping.
Okay, Alhaji, it's good to see you again, sir. We just had a conversation with Chief Dele Momodu. And one of the subjects we discussed with Chief Dele Momodu was coalition politics, whether it's viable or not. Now, I recall that in 2013, 2014, ahead of the 2015 election, you were one of the leaders of the move out of the PDP. You even became the chairman of what was called the new PDP then, that helped to form the APC. Although in 2018, with the problems that Senator Bukola Saraki had within the APC, all of you now came back to the PDP. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, all this talk about coalition politics, do you think it's going to work this time around? Particularly, you having a president in place, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was part of that conspiracy at that time. And who knows how politicians move around. So let's start with that, with your experience in coalition politics, how it failed, and what is going to work or will not work this time around.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. It's nice seeing you again. In 2014 and now, well, there are some comparisons you may draw, but they are totally different. The movement of the then new PDP was based on ideology, was based on principles, was based on the desire and aspirations of the people that moved. Remember, many of us that moved that time, there were governors, serving governors, there were former governors, there were serving senators, and there was somebody like me who was a former national secretary and a former national chairman. So, and you know, politicians, we have aspirations. So what will we say we wanted that we have not had in PDP at that time? But because our members, because our people were not having the result of what we canvassed for vote for, then we decided to dialogue with the leadership of the party that time and the president of that time, and that was President Jonathan, that our people were not getting the dividends. Our manifestos canvassed for vote through, you know, some promises to the people. But our people were not getting these promises. And like PDP, we are not just there for our own, on our own. We are not there to serve ourselves. We are there to serve our people. It's the People's Party. That was the principle. That was the main shoot of the disagreement. And we went ahead to discuss with the leadership of the party, and we brought in, a lot of discussions, here, back and forth with the president. I remember very well, Dr. Abati, although you are a passive observer from a distance, there were a lot of meetings here and there with Mr. President and the group, the new PDP. We came up with about 9, reasons or 9 items on the agenda that once our 9 points on the agenda were satisfied, which none of them has to do with anybody, except with the few 1 or 2 governors who have been unnecessarily and unreasonably suspended by the then national chairman. So all the reasons we gave were based on principles. All the reasons we gave were based on the wish and the welfare of our people. We started with those 9 reasons. We came down to 5 after dialoguing. And at the end of the day, we even came down to 1. That's compromise. That's sacrifice. This took about 4 months, if you recollect. And when we even came down to compromise 8 out of 9 reasons and said the president should just do 1 and we shall come back to the party, that one was not done. So we had reason to go. The present gale of defections have no reasons. They were unreasonable, but that's their own reason anyway. As far as the defection, the latest defection in the Delta State is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, I think the leaders of PDP have put that one behind us. And we are overflogging the matter. Well, what we are trying to do now is to look ahead and see what is possible. Then looking at the possibility of parties coming together to work, yeah, it is possible. Very, very possible. We had it that time. And I want to build my chest at this moment that it was the possible merger of other political parties that brought in APC. And as a matter of fact, it was the merger of the new PDP then that came in with 5 governors, larger than any other group, that gave the ticket to APC, even if it was not recognized by the then president, Buhari. That kind of. And instead of having a pat on our back for it, all our discussions, all our agreement were violated, were not followed. And that was the reason why we came back. We quickly retraced our step. We realized that they were not the kind of people that we can work with.
Okay, Alhaji.
So there are a lot of differences in the then defection and now, Dr. Abati.
Okay, I love that you're drawing some of these comparisons, and you've just made the point that you came in with 5 governors. And interestingly enough, Malam El-Rufai, who's also behind this idea of a coalition, is saying that you don't even need governors to win the election. where exactly is the coalition going? Because in one breath you're talking about ideology and the principles that you stood on. What is the ideology of this new coalition beyond removing APC from power in 2027? Because it seems that's the only common ground.
Please take it. I'm not saying I'm part of that attempt to bring party together, that kind of thing. I'm not part of that arrangement.
Okay.
But anybody can be part of any arrangement. Okay, there are other ways of defeating APC or any party in power. It's not necessarily by actually coming together with many parties. All right. The comparison that I'm drawing is to let you see why some of us left in 2014 and why we came back. And we had grievances. The party called us for discussions. People that are defecting now have no grief. They didn't tell the party they were defecting. They didn't tell the party was doing anything wrong with them. They didn't tell the party that they have grievances. Okay. So that's why the party was shocked. But as of now, the party has gotten over the shock and we are moving forward.
Okay, Alhaji, what do you think of this Tinubu Emilokan administration? In 2015, you made the point that, or was it in 2018? You said in 2015 that it was the APC that brought in thugs, bandits, terrorists into the country to come and destabilize the country. Okay, we had 8 years of President Buhari. In fact, under President Buhari, they were giving these militants and bandits Ashwebi, they were rehabilitating them, they were giving them jollof rice and pepper soup. And now President Tinubu has taken over since 2023. Do you still hold the belief that the APC is a party of persons who just recruit mercenaries from the Sahel region to come and destabilize Nigeria, or you have changed your view?
Let me first of all say that the idea of bringing people from outside the country to destabilize wasn't, I didn't say they brought people to destabilize. What I said was that the idea, they actually brought people into the country with the intention that those people will come and vote for them. I think you understand? And they never realized, they never knew, they were never convinced that they were going to win that election because PDP was very, very strong on ground. So the fear was that they were going to lose the election. So the only thing they could do was to bring in people who could serve as mercenaries to come and win elections for them through the back door. But when the new PDP came on board and joined them and to form the APC and won the election, they didn't know what to do with those people. And in the process, those people became uncontrollable. Many people have spoken about that. You've mentioned a name now, although I hate to mention names. You've mentioned a name now. You've mentioned the El-Rufai. He talked about them. There were other people who are in APC now, who are strong members of APC now, serving at top positions, who also spoke about that. It was not only me. So that was exactly what. But to me, the scenario or the dynamics have changed. And what has changed the dynamics? What were the problems on ground that time? Are they still there, or they are not there? What was the economy of the country by 2014-15, by the time APC was coming on board? What is it now? What was it when the idea of Emilokan came on board? What is happening now? The strength of the economy of the country. What is it now? Are we any better? These are questions we should ask ourselves. And then as a party, these are questions we go to the boardroom to ask ourselves and to give answers to how to make it better. And definitely I know we have the answers. It was not like this in 2014-15. And you know it for sure that if we have gotten the opportunity to continue, things will not be like this. As bad as it is now, yeah, I'm sure if the PDP comes in, if we are given the opportunity to come in, it will not be as bad or from bad to worse as it is now.
Okay, so are you calling the current...
To me, we still have an opportunity.
So you're saying that the current surge of insecurity that we're seeing, whether it be Benue State, Plateau State, even Borno State, are you saying it's a partisan issue? It is not a general security issue?
No, I won't say it's really partisan, because the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is not isolated. It's an issue. Insecurity is an issue all over the world nowadays, but it was not as escalated as it is today, right? Which means enough attention or enough solution has not been has not been given to the issue of security in Nigeria. One would have thought that one of the cardinal, answers to the problems Nigerians have is to solve the insecurity first. But it's going from bad to worse. So the insecurity is not isolated to Nigeria. It's a national thing, but I think if the PDP get there, PDP will do far, far better than what is happening now. Okay.
Alhaji, what is the way forward for the People's Democratic Party? The PDP is saying that
very good.
Now it will hold the National Working Committee meeting either in May or is it August, and then address some issues. Now, what do you think should be the way forward for the
main convention?
Yes. What should be the way forward for the PDP? At least PDP should deal with some of the recalcitrant, people who have issues of indiscipline, within the party. PDP has not been able to do that. They have said Chief Ulasi will now, not Chief Ulasi, Chief Emma Ogidi, Elder Emma Ogidi, will now oversee Delta State. There are many things to be resolved within the party. What is the way forward for that party? What will you recommend?
Well, I agree with you that there are many problems to be solved. And we have started solving the problem. It might not be open now, but by the time the results are coming out, I think members and the general public, the entire Nigerians will be happy to have a very strong opposition. First of all, Dr. Abati, it is not the practice, it's not the tradition, of people like us to come and, openly tell you the strategies that the PDP is going to use to solve the problem. But you know very well that where we have a lot of better heads, solutions is not very far from such area. First of all, we have removed panic because we have gotten over the shock of Delta. I must confess it was a shock because where you don't have any quarrel, you don't have any cause to say that any member or a group of people are complaining, suddenly they just wake up one day and say they are going. You get a shock, fine. But we've gotten over the shock. And what some of us are telling ourselves in the PDP is that enough is enough. Let's stop talking about the defection in Delta. Now we sit down in roundtable, and you can see what our governors have done within the last 3 days. And that's we tell you that we are moving forward. And one step after the other. We cannot say we cannot say we are changing the leadership of the party, we are resolving the problem in the leadership, particularly in the area of the secretaryship, and at the same time put up people to be suspended or put up people to be disciplined in one way or the other. We have to move one out. These problems do not come in one day. This problem came as a result of one reason or the other.
Yes.
This problem, were they caused by people? Were they caused by situation? Were they caused by the aspiration of some people? Were they caused by the deviance of some people?
Well,
these are the questions we are asking ourselves.
Those are certainly the questions.
And I want to say,
Baraje.
You say what?
You'd like to see? Go ahead. You can land on that point, but we need to go. Go ahead.
So to me, as far as we are concerned, we are moving ahead, and the solutions are being taken one after the other. Okay. The Yoruba people say that when trees fall upon trees, you take the one on top first. And that is why our governors have moved forward to start through with the leadership of the party. Right. The next will now be the NEC, which is the meeting of the executive, and then will be followed by convention. Okay. And after the convention, the incoming executive will take the right decision. Right. We are still very positive for PDP.
Well, it's great that you maintain a positive attitude. It's certainly a daunting task ahead for the PDP, and we look forward to all of the events as they continue to develop. Thank you so much for your time today. Alhaji Abubakar Baraje.